All right, folks, so buyers waited and sellers hesitated. So I'll get into that, exactly what is happening and what will happen in 2026. However, right now is December and I'm in downtown Toronto. As you can see, it is extremely cold. And as I have mentioned in some of my previous videos, it is harder to do business in December. Obviously, you know, Christmas and holidays and New Year's and everything that is going on. Plus, people are spending a little bit more. So if you're expecting that something will hit and it will hit on your terms, well, think again, because it's unlikely or is an extremely slim percent that it will happen, right? So, I mean, at this point, you know, everything is just going to go downhill in terms of the activity, right? And that's it. If you are still in the market, which most people will be in the market, and the history has shown, right? Like, you know, the previous few years, those sellers that hesitated, now it's the backlash or back end effect that will actually impact everyone else continuing and moving forward. So what do I mean by that, right? So those sellers that were hesitant to drop the price, they needed to sell or they wanted to sell, but still they're like, okay, look, like I will just test the market, like I need to test the market. And now getting into 2026, that particular market, it's not only going to be tested, it will be extremely challenging because everyone will kind of gather at the same time, right? So the confidence needs to get back on the table, right? Yes, I understand, you know, bank rates and everything else, but that actual feeling that when you invest and buy, that you have some type of a security, even though if it's small or minimal, but people need to be able to somehow calculate the future projections. And today we're dealing with the situation where, you know, we are literally buying a falling market, and that sucks. Let's just call it for what it is. It sucks, and nobody wants to actually do that, right? So how do we move forward? Well, a couple of things and a couple of scenarios that could actually happen. One of them is that, you know, people that are selling come to their senses and drop the price according to the current market value, call it a day, make that sale. All right, so the question is, can the market recover? That's the ultimate question that people are asking. And yes, it can recover. I personally believe it will not be able to recover, not before 2030. And when I say recover, I mean like to have some type of a stabilized, kind of predictable market moving on forward, right? Because just because we have, you know, buyers, some buyers, as per claim, that they're sitting on the sidelines, you know, full of cash, and they're just waiting for that opportunity. But if they don't have the confidence, they will not pull that trigger. As simple as that, right? Because nobody wants to invest in a downhill market and then hope for the best to recoup their money. All right, I literally had to take a break because my camera was acting up and I'm like in a, I don't know, hot shelter here. My face is frozen. But let's continue this. So, can this be recovered? Can all the actual listings... What's going on? Guys, I have no idea if I will be able to record this because my camera is completely acting up. It is so cold, it is frozen. All right, I'll give it another shot. It's literally an ice layer. As you can see, it's like over -20, but the biggest question is, can we actually absorb all of this? And yes, I think the one big part of it is confidence and the price. If the price gets adjusted I think somewhere down the line we will have investors, we will have buyers that will actually pull a trigger because it will actually make sense to purchase a property, and there's something that they will able to hope in the future when it comes to maybe price increases and that stability. So I don't think my camera can hold any longer. Please comment what you think below, and I'll see you in the next one.